What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Ain't no such thing as black fatigue. There is no such thing as black fatigue. I don't know where this guy got this idea from. I don't know what gave him the unction to say that somehow or another there is some exhaustion when it comes down to black Americans. No. He's wrong. And this is dangerous. Yeah, what's going on? This is BMI 3000 reloaded in the house. BMI 3000 reloaded in the house. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, it is May the 12th, 2025. I'm here broadcasting live for all my brothers. I want y'all to see me right here. Y'all know I got the BMI hat on right here, man. I got the BMI hat on right here. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, man? We got to talk. We got to talk today. We got to talk tonight. Yeah, and I hope that Mr. Daniels sees my stream. I hope that you see my stream, Mr. Anton Daniels. I hope that you see my stream. Yeah, because you were wrong, brother. You are completely wrong. Not only are you completely wrong, my brother, but I'm going to say to you straight up, live, in full effect, you are dangerous. You are dangerous. Yeah, see, ideas have consequences. Ideas have effects. Ideas matter. Yeah, they matter. Ideas matter. Concepts matter. What's going on? What's going on? This brother is wrong. He's wrong and he's dangerous. Dangerous, promoting this nonsense. This is nonsense. What's happening, my brothers? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I got my man Revelator, the spirit of indifference. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Gabar, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Salute to you. Salute to you. What's happening? Franklin Richards, what's happening, man? What's happening, man? Salute to you. Salute to you, man. It's wrong. I admit it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on preliminaries. We're going to do some preliminaries, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on preliminaries. If you can hear me loud and clear in the chat, just put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, I am BMI 3000 reloaded. The B, you see this here right here? The B stands for black. The M stands for men's. The I stands for independence. Black men's independence, doggone it. That's what it stands for. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me know that you can hear me loud and clear. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Man, y'all see the thumbnail. Man, y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the thumbnail. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is Monday. I'm broadcasting live. I'm broadcasting live to you, my brothers, from the state of North Carolina. I am live in full effect. It's been a while since I've shown my face. It's been a while since you guys have seen the BMI hat. Y'all see the BMI, Black Men's Independence. Black Men's Independence, man. That's what it's all about right here. That's right. BMI 3000. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good to see all you brothers in the house. HLM, what's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. My brother Joe's, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Glad that you were here, man. Glad that you were here. My man Jay Carter is in the house. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, Anton Daniels is wrong. Yeah, y'all know who Anton Daniels is. I don't have to tell you who this brother is. I don't have to tell you who Anton Daniels is. And let me be clear right now that this is not a stream where I'm going to engage in a whole bunch of ad hominem. I'm not going to attack this person's character. I am not going to say disparaging things about him that are unnecessary. I'm just going to talk about ideas. We're going to talk about ideas. And ideas matter, and ideas have consequences. And when you are a black man, and you have some level of prominence, you have some level of notoriety or whatever, and we live in the social media age, yeah, you need to be very, 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 you need to be very, very responsible about what you say. You need to be responsible about what you say. And you need to be very, very clear about what it is that you say has an impact on the audience, or shall I say the audiences who are watching and listening to you. Absolutely, absolutely. What's happening? What's happening, man? We are in the house tonight, man. This is early May. We're getting ready to go into September, not September. Oh, Lord have mercy. My wires are crossed. We're going into summer. We are going into summer. Detroit 313. What's happening, man? Detroit 313. Barry Little. What's happening, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, we got to talk about this nonsense. And we got to nip this in the bud before it gets too far. Yeah, we got to get this nipped in the bud before this gets too far. What's up? I got my man Hawk TV in the house. What's happening, man? What's happening? You see the thumbnail and you see the title right here. You see it. Yeah, I'm going to be very, very critical. Very critical of this Black American man who in the last couple of years has shaked up the algorithm. A Black man who during the 2024 election cycle was platformed by Fox News, a man who was being watched by white conservatives, people on the white, in terms of the white right. Absolutely. I need to talk about this right here. Oh, this idea that white people are tired of Black people. That's it. Let's just get into it. White people are tired of Black people. White people are being oppressed by the voices of Black people. White people are being harmed by the protestations of Black people. White people are weary. White people are exhausted of Keisha. They're tired of BLM, Black Lives Matter. White people are tired of Black people and their grievances. White people are tired, and you want to call this Black fatigue? Black fatigue. You want to call it Black fatigue? That's the thing. We're going to talk about this thing. Yeah. We're going to talk about this tonight. Yeah. I don't have to tell you guys about the various incidences that you all are very much aware of in this country right now in terms of the interactions between white people and Black people. I'm not gonna recite all of them. But this idea that the country, America, is tired of black people, and you want to call it black fatigue. You want to call it black fatigue. And you want to legitimize the idea or the sensibility that white people, mainly white people, are tired of listening to the grievances of black people. And that somehow white people, the majority population in the United States, there are over 360 million people in the United States, the majority of which are white people. All American institutions, the most important institutions, we're talking about the American government at every level of government. I'm talking about the federal government. We're talking about state government. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about Wall Street and even Main Street. We're talking about the military. We are talking about education, higher education, K through 12 education at every single level, that white people who control this country are somehow oppressed, that they are victimized by the protests, by the grievances, hell, even the recklessness, the powerless recklessness of black people. These people are fatigued and they're tired. They don't want to hear black people. And you want to call it black fatigue. What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening, man? Kadas Chaya, man. Peace to you, man. Peace to chat, man. This is BMI 3000 Reloaded. I'm in the house. BMI 3000 Reloaded in the house. In the house. Now let me be clear. I want to be clear to all you brothers who are here and everybody else who is listening. Let me be clear. I am not a traditional black person. If you have followed my imprint here on YouTube, you know that I am not traditional. You know that I advocate mainly and primarily for black men. Black men first here in the US and black men across the board. And I advocate for black men's independence. I advocate for black men's empowerment. I advocate for black men's agency. I advocate for black men's happiness. I advocate for all these things. That's what I do. I advocate for all of these things, and will continue to advocate for all of these things. But I advocate, and here's what people need to understand. Understand this. I advocate knowing that we live as Black American men, we live in a society where racism is still a thing. Racism is still a thing. Racism is not an aberration. It is not a fiction of our imaginations and what have you. It is a thing that actually exists. And we are still living with the history. We are still living with the history of racism in this country in terms of economics, in terms of housing, in terms of criminal justice, in terms of so many disparities. We deal with that. And yes, Black people continue to be victims. Yes, we are victims. The Black male, the Black man is a victim of racism. But although we are victims of racism, we do not allow our victimization to completely determine everything that we do. It does not completely define our entire existence as Black men in particular and Black people in general in the United States. Yes, that's what we do. We are not sitting around. We are not sitting around waiting for somebody to save us. I'm not sitting around. The Black men who are right here watching me, they are not sitting around, and other Black men are not sitting around. Black men have never had the luxury of sitting around waiting for somebody to come and save Black men. We're not sitting around waiting for anybody to save us. And we don't spend a whole lot of time chastising, ridiculing, and guilting this society that we live in that is racist. It is what it is. We don't sit around rebuking a society that has animus towards us. We don't sit around doing that. We find a way. We make a way out of no way. But you have a class of people. You got a class of people out here. They call themselves conservatives, and I guess I have to talk about these Black conservatives. What's going on, real Black gentlemen? You got a class of people, and I hope you Black conservatives are listening to me. I really do. I really, 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 really do. You Black conservatives, and I'm not going to demonize you, you Black conservatives. I'm not a Black conservative. I'm not. I understand the perspective of Black conservatives historically, not just based on what's going on in 2024. Because I'm going to tell you that your run of the mill, your Black the Black conservative that you see on YouTube is ignorant. The Black conservative that you see that is talking on YouTube, I don't care, you talking about an Officer Tatum, you could talk about Candace Owens, hell, Anton Daniels. It doesn't matter who you're talking about. The vast majority of these voices, who they call Black conservatives, they're ignorant. They're ignorant. And when I say ignorant, what I mean is that these people have no respect whatsoever for the long history of Black Americans. No respect whatsoever. Not only do they not have respect for the long history of Black Americans, they are completely ignorant of American public policy, social policy. They're completely ignorant of the ways in which the government, the ways in which corporations, the ways in which so many entities have worked, particularly over the last 60 years, to suppress the agency of Black Americans, particularly Black American men. Political conservatism has been hostile. It has been completely hostile to the Black population. And right now, what you have is a new generation of conservatives who know nothing about the past, who don't care anything about the past, who don't really understand the history of hostility of conservatives, ultra conservatives towards Black Americans. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. You have a new crop of Black people align themselves with Donald Trump. They have aligned themselves with MAGA and everything. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be honest with you, I voted for Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump. Oh, get it. It's out there right now. I voted for Donald Trump. But I did not vote for Donald Trump as a black conservative. I'm not a black conservative. I'm an independent. I'm 50. I'm going on the age of 52. I will be 52 years old in September. For the bulk of my life as an American citizen, as a voter, I have supported Democratic political candidates, Democratic administrations, Democratic politicians, up until Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now, I will tell you straight up, I voted for Donald Trump in 2024 as a dissenter, not because I'm some right-wing person or some hardcore MAGA individual. I don't identify with MAGA. I don't call myself MAGA. And those things. I am an independent. And I don't buy into this bootstrap mentality of black people. I don't buy into it. If you don't understand this, if you don't understand it by now, I don't buy this. I don't buy into a bootstrap mentality when it comes down to black Americans, that the black American has to fundamentally pull himself up or herself up by the bootstraps without any type of social network or connection or intervention whatsoever. That is nonsense. It's utopian nonsense. There is no such thing as a self-made. There is no such thing as a self-made man. There is no such thing as a self-made woman. Human beings are created by connections, affiliations, relationships, nepotism, mafias, tribes, so on and so forth. That's how human beings are formed. That's how they have been formed historically. Black fatigue. White people have a hard time. You have a class of white people who sit at a distance from most black Americans. They have no connection to black people who live in inner cities, who live in poverty. Everything that they know about the black lower class or underclass comes from what they have seen on television and in the media. In the media. Lower class blacks are not terrorizing white people. Let me say it again. Lower class blacks in America are not terrorizing white people. Pookie, what people call Pookie and Ray Ray and them, they are not direct threats to white people. And you have people, you got people like an Anton Daniels who co-signs, and I'm going to give him, let me just say this about Anton Daniels. I'm going to say this about Anton Daniels. I don't have any deep animus towards him. I watch what he has done on YouTube. I don't have any deep animus towards him. He is an exception. This is a black man who, because of luck, I'm going to say this, because of luck, he got lucky. Anton Daniels, you got lucky. You got lucky. I don't want to take away your ability and skills or what have you, but you got lucky. You had opportunity. Luck, opportunity, merit, all those things. You did not pull yourself up by the bootstraps by yourself. You are not a completely self-made man. That is nonsense. There is no such thing as a self-made. There is no self-made white man. There's no self-made white man, and there is no self-made black man. This is nonsense. It's American mythology. It's a myth. It's a myth. Compassion and callous. What's going on? Black fatigue. There's no black fatigue. No black fatigue. White people feel oppressed by black people. That's what you're saying. White people tired of black people. Black fatigue. And white Becky, and white Karen. Karen is actually, she's being terrorized. She's being terrorized by Keisha. That's Karen. Karen, Becky, she being terrorized by Keisha. Keisha is making it difficult for Becky to live her life. Keisha is making it difficult for Karen to live her life. Get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. No such thing as no black fatigue. It's nonsense. We tired of black people. Nonsense. Black people are oppressing us. Stop that. We can't talk because black people have so much privilege. Black people have all of these advantages. Black people get away with everything. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. My man Charles Faulkner is in the house. Woo! Woo! In the house. In the house. My man Charles Faulkner, man. Good to see you, my brother. No black fatigue. This is a dangerous idea. This is a very, very dangerous notion. These people who are talking about black fatigue, and there are a bunch of white people who watch Anton Daniels, a lot of white people on the right, conservative white people, they're watching Anton Daniels, and he's giving them a language to support their sense of being victimized by black people. Victimized. That somehow or another the tables have turned. That black people have all this power. That black people have all of this currency. And because black people have all this power and currency, this means that white people are censored, and that the lives of white people are limited because of all of this so-called black power. 13% of the population, black people, 13% of the population, 7% of the population female, 6% of the population male. How is it that 13% of the United States population is oppressing the majority of the population, which is white? It makes absolutely no sense. This is ridiculous. Somehow white people are censored because of black people. Nonsense. AB Media in the house, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Glad that you're here, my brother. Good to see you. Black fatigue. There is no such thing as black fatigue. It does not exist. Black fatigue is a dangerous idea. It's dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. Black people can get tired of other black people. I can get tired of other black people. Yeah, I've gotten tired of other black people. Yeah. A black person can get tired of another black person. A black person can get tired of the grievances of black people. Yeah, we can do that. But it must be understood. That there is no power in that. There's no power in that. Ain't no power in that. So if I am tired of another group of black people, that means that I, as a black person who doesn't have too much power in the society, I have grown tired of the grievances of another group of black people who, like me, don't have a lot of power in this society. And you guys have watched me for the past 4 years, some odd years. I talked about Black Lives Matter. I talked about BLM. I'm tired. I've gotten tired. I don't like listening to Black Lives Matter. I don't like listening to BLM. I don't like listening to black feminists. I don't like listening to black liberals. I don't like listening to their grievances and complaints. I don't like listening to these people. I'm tired of listening to I'm tired to listening to them as well. But although I am tired of listening to these people, I know that these people have no power. These are powerless people with grievances. That's what they are. Powerless. These are powerless. The black feminist, a woman who is a black feminist who has a bunch of grievances, is simply a powerless black woman. That's what she is. The the black LGBTQ people who have nothing but grievances, nothing but complaints, they are nothing but powerless black people with grievances and complaints. That's it. And I can tire of them. They have no power. They have no power. But you want to tell me that you want to tell me that white people, groups of white people who have more power than black people, are tired of black people? And somehow or another, there is some equality between them, between these people, these white people who are tired of black people, and the black people who have their grievances. You want to tell me that there's some real equality between them? There is some equality in terms of power? Get out of here. Stop it. Thank you, Otis. Otis says no such thing as black fatigue. They money funny. Now they just looking for someone to blame. Absolutely. They just pay attention to black people and blame us for things. They also absolutely. We are easy. The black Americans are America's scapegoats. We are the scapegoats. We are low-hanging fruit. Black people are low-hanging fruit. We are low-hanging fruit. What's going on, Passport OG? I want y'all to get this. The people who say, and this includes Anton Daniels, and y'all can clip this. The people who say that they are tired of black people, that they are experiencing fatigue are people who will never, ever, 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 ever say that they have Jewish fatigue. They will never say they have Jewish fatigue. Now, when these white people get out on these social media streets and start saying that they have Jewish fatigue, when they say publicly and out loud that they are tired of the Jews and they are tired of the complaints of the Jews, when these white people publicly say this in mass, when it becomes when it goes viral, if they are on social media and their videos go viral where they are saying they are tired of the Jews, that they have Jewish fatigue, then I will shut my mouth. I will shut my mouth. You get out here, and I'm gonna say this, Anton, you get out here, Anton Daniels, and you get out here, all of your sycophants and what have you, you get out here publicly and say that you are tired of the Jews. You get out here and say, I dare you to say that. I dare you to do long streams. I dare you to encourage white people to express what they regard as Jewish fatigue, that they're tired of listening to Jews and their complaints about anti-Semitism. I want you to come out and talk about Jewish fatigue. And Anton Daniels, he's not going to come out and talk about Jewish fatigue. He will never talk about Jewish fatigue. And these other people, they will never come out talking about Jewish fatigue. And they will never go viral, because as soon as they come out talking about Jewish fatigue, and they do it in mass, all of them will get shut down. They will get shut down. You come out on YouTube and say that you are tired of Jews and you are tired of Jews and their complaints, they will shut you down. They will shut you down. Now you, Anton Daniels, you get out on YouTube and say that you're tired of listening to Jews and what Jews have to say about anti-Semitism. The Holocaust did not take place in America. It didn't take place here. And this goes to the other white people, the Holocaust, the white people. Yeah, you white people. Yeah, you come out and you talk about your Jewish fatigue. You white Christians talk about your Jewish fatigue. But you can talk about black fatigue because black people are low-hanging fruit. Black people, low-hanging fruit. You can say whatever you want to say about black people and not worry about any type of consequences. You can do that. And you've got people, if it's not just Anton Daniels, if it's not just Anton Daniels, it's Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines. You know Myron Gaines, fresh and fit. Myron Gaines, the Somalian, Sudanese. Oh no. The man who has a Sudanese background. He can't help but talk about black people every opportunity that he gets. And he can't help but talk about how much he is tired of black people, how much he's disgusted with black people. He's disgusted with Keisha. He's disgusted with Pookie and Ray Ray and Tyrone and all that kind of stuff. As though black people, as though Keisha has done something to him. Keisha, what has Keisha done to Myron Gaines? What has Pookie done to Myron Gaines? What has Ray Ray done to Myron Gaines? When you listen to Myron Gaines talk about black people and his sense of pathology when it comes down to black people, you would get the impression that somehow or another that black people represent a terroristic horde that prevents him from living his entire life, his whole existence. He's terrorized by black people. Myron Gaines, a man who comes from a country which has been designated by every Western power as a failed state. How do you do that? Very little. What's going on? Their so-called fatigue is nothing compared to ours. Daniels is just a conservative chasing clout. That's what he is. That's what he is. And you're right, a conservative chasing clout. That's what it is. Have you guys heard Myron Gaines? Anton Daniels, and Anton Daniels has hosted Myron Gaines on his platform, and Anton Daniels has allowed Myron Gaines to spew his anti-black rhetoric, his hatred of black people. Myron Gaines hates black people. Black people have not done anything to him. Black women have not done anything to him. Black men have not done anything to him. But this man, this immigrant, who liberally uses Black American culture. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. You got a Myron Gaines. He has a whole platform. And he has used Black male culture. This guy, he has used Black male culture to elevate himself. He uses the lingo of Black men. He uses our language. He uses the music. He uses the sonic contributions of Black men and Black culture to propel him. He uses Black American swag. This man uses Black American swag, Black American culture, hip hop culture. He has used and exploited hip hop culture to his own benefit and advantage. He could not, this is a person who cannot exist without talking about Black people, Black men, Black women. He cannot exist without that. If he took the Black American influence away from his platform, no one whatsoever would listen to him and follow him. The swag of Black culture is what he has used to propel himself. But when this man talks, he spews nothing but venom and hatred towards Black people. And he is one of these people who fits into this nonsense called Black fatigue. This man was on Piers Morgan just last week talking about Black people in ways that suggest that he is being oppressed by Black people. This man talking about, well, Black people have all these privileges, and Black people can talk about white people in this way, and Black people can be racist, and Black people have all these free passes, all that kind of stuff, and that Black people don't get penalized, and that Black people just have a lifeline that's just given to them, and that Black people can do whatever they want without any type of consequences, without any punishments whatsoever. A bunch of nonsense. Nonsense. The nonsense of black fatigue. Otis, you appreciate your contribution for that. This is nonsense. This is a laughable idea. Quash, Chaya, thank you for that contribution. He said, them folks having black fatigue is laughable. The entire planet have white fatigue. Yeah, we have white fatigue. They don't know that all nations are tired of the West forcing their values on. There you go, in the name of democracy. There it is right there. There it is right there. Black people live in a world, living in America, where the demand, the endless demand is that we conform to a certain standard of whiteness. We conform to it. And that's the whole conservative thing, the conservative. You need to be just like white people. You need to be just like upper middle class white people and what have you. That's the conservative thing. Conform, do what white people tell you to do. That's a part of the conservative thing. Do what the white people tell you to do. Live according to the standards that white people tell you to live up to and what have you. Don't question the standards. Here's the thing. You don't question the standards of white people and whiteness and all of that. No, you are simply to surrender yourself over that. You're supposed to assimilate. And that's the thing, assimilate. And you look at a person like Myron Gaines, who was an African, Myron Gaines, who is a Sudanese person, he has basically assimilated. He's assimilated into a certain brand of whiteness. He's assimilated. He's assimilated. And the kind of assimilation that he has accepted is a kind of assimilation which means that you must completely reject everything that you came from. You have to reject everything that you came from. You got to reject it. In order for Myron to be successful, he has to be the best version of a conservative, a right-wing conservative white male in America. He has to, in order for him to be accepted. That's what he has, that's what he pursues right there. And that you embrace white nationalism, you embrace extreme perspectives that come from the white right, from these white males and what have you. That you become a white supremacist. Because Myron Gaines has absolutely no critique of white society whatsoever. That's it. People like Myron Gaines, and I know this stream, I'm talking about Anton, but Anton and Myron Gaines, they're not far from each other. They're not very far. They live in the same universe. Anton is different, but The point still stands, is that these people are telling white society, particularly the right, the conservatives, that they're innocent, that there's nothing wrong with them, that they are correct in saying that they are being victimized by black people. That's what black fatigue is about. Black fatigue is the idea that black people are victimizing white people. That's black fatigue. That black people are oppressing white people. This is the nonsense. And that white society is completely innocent. That black people, that the grievances of black people have no legitimacy, that they have no merit whatsoever. This is the problem. I've criticized black activists. I criticize Black Lives Matter. I criticize black race hustlers. Yes, there are race hustlers amongst us. There are race hustlers who exist amongst us who are worthy of criticism. Race hustlers. They exploit poverty and pain and victimization that exists within the black population. They're hustlers who make a living exploiting black people's pain and trauma. These people should be criticized. There are people who want to march and protest. There are some people who complain too much. There are some black people, there are black women, all they do is complain. They don't do anything other than complain. These people are worthy of criticism, and I criticize them. You have an element of black people who all they do is complain. They don't build anything. They have no creative visions of the future. They have a dependency mentality. They expect white people to save black people. They want to guilt black people into everything. White people, they want to control white people, or the attempt to manipulate, not control, but manipulate and influence white people through guilt. These people do exist, but these people are powerless. They have no power. They have no power. So the idea of black fatigue is stupid. This is a stupid idea. It's stupid and it's dangerous. Black fatigue is stupid and it is dangerous. It is stupid and dangerous because it tells a demographic, particularly whites, a class of white people, that they're completely innocent. That they have nothing to do with the type of society that we live in right now. That racism is something that we have to relegate to the past, to the 1970s, 1960s, 1950s. Is that, this idea that racism no longer exists. That discrimination based on race is dead. That's a lie. I am a racial realist. I preach racial realism. You all know that. BMI, Black Male Independence. BMA, Black Male Agency. We know that nobody's coming to save us. We know what kind of society we live in. But we don't wallow. We know what type of society that we live in, but we don't wallow in being victims. We don't wallow in that. There's more to us than our victimization. If anything, what we're experiencing right now, what we are experiencing right now with huge sections of the white population is the death or the end or the disintegration of white guilt. White guilt. This is what we're dealing with right now. We are witnessing the slow death of white guilt. That's what it is. That you have white people right now, and they're not the first, but in this 2025 moment, they no longer feel guilty about racism. They no longer feel the need to prove to Black people and to the rest of the world that they are racist. That's what we are right now. You have white people who they don't want to prove that they are not racist. They don't want to pretend that they are not racist. That's what we are. You have some whites who don't want to hide their racism. You have some whites who want to be open with their racism. They don't want to be censored. They do not want to be restricted in the expression of their racism. That's where we are right now. This ain't no Black fatigue. This is the end or the death of white guilt. These are white people who have said, okay, yeah, I'm racist. And I don't want to hide it. That's it. I don't like Black people. I don't want to be around Black people. I have these ideas about Black people. These are the white people that are coming out of the closet right now. There ain't no Black fatigue. There's no Black fatigue. We just tired of Black people and their grievances or whatever, you know, and you want to blame it on Black people, because that's the thing about the Black fatigue. Black fatigue, the idea of Black fatigue places blame on Black people for the way in which this American society works and operates. You see, you want to blame Black people. This is an old canard. Some Black, we just tired of Black people. No, you know, we just tired of. No, you're not just tired of Black people. You have outgrown guilt, basically. And it's not that you're tired of Black people. You have outgrown. You want to be openly racist. That's what it is. You want to be openly racist. You want to be open with your anti-Blackness, basically. You want to be able to say without any penalty that you don't like Black people. You want to be able to say without any penalty that you hate Black people. That's basically what it is. You want to come out and say that you believe that something needs to be done with this Black population because I don't like them, I disparage them, what have you. That's what it is. You got people who are white supremacists and they want to be forthright in the white supremacy. That's it. That's all. There ain't no Black fatigue. They want to be forthright in their racial hatred of Black people. There's no Black fatigue. This is nonsense. And Anton Daniels is useful. He is a useful tool. Anton Daniels is a useful idiot in this enterprise. Because Anton Daniels, as a conservative, he believes that black people have no legitimate grievances. He believes that black people have no legitimate grievances whatsoever. And Anton Daniels, he denies the existence of any level of racism. He denies it. If he acknowledged some degree of racism, I would understand, but he denies it. And he thinks that you can just pull yourself up by the bootstrap. And all you have, you can do it. He's the kind of person who thinks that most black people are poor because they're lazy, basically. You ask this guy, Anton Daniels, why do you have poor black people, Anton? Why do poor black people exist in America, Anton Daniels? His response is they're lazy. That's it, period, point blank. That's why they're poor, they're lazy. That's it. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They have no work ethic. They have no initiative. They don't want anything. That's the ultimate answer right there. It has nothing to do with history. It has nothing to do with the environment. It has nothing to do with policy and what policies have done to black people. It has nothing to do with what this country has done to black people. No, they're just lazy. And anybody can be a millionaire. That's his perspective. Anybody can be a millionaire. Anybody who wants to can be just like him. That's what he believes. And that's what he preaches. And the fact that the vast majority of Americans are not millionaires, the fact that the vast majority of Americans cannot become millionaires and will not become millionaires for so many reasons, The fact that is a reality. It goes over his head. It goes over his head. It goes over his head. Black fatigue. Thank you, Tiger Crane Shakir. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. We appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys. What's going on, Christopher Clipper? Man, good to see you. Good to see you. Cash App, $ BMI 3000. Cash App, $ BMI 3000. Cash App, $ BMI 3000. You see, and let me say this to you guys, I'm not. I told O'Shea, I did a whole video with O'Shea on Donald Trump. And O'Shea, and I told you, and I'm gonna come out, guys. Yeah, I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump. And I didn't vote for Trump because I'm not a conservative. I'm not a conservative who voted for Trump. I'm not a conservative. I'm an independent. I voted for Trump as a protest voter. It was a protest vote. I voted for Trump as a protest vote. I was protesting the Democratic Party, a sorry, weak, ineffectual Democratic Party that is unserious about governing, unserious about politics. I protested them about them. Kamala Harris was the quintessence of their laziness, their unseriousness about governing American society. These people are not serious. That's why I voted against them. I voted against Barack Obama. I voted against the Democratic Party. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump because I'm right wing. I didn't vote for Trump because I'm some hardcore conservative. I did not vote for Trump because I'm some type of nationalist, a white nationalist. No, my vote for Trump was a protest vote. That's what it was. I didn't vote for Trump because I'm just some Christian. You know, Anton Daniels, you Christian and go to church and we believe in Jesus and the Bible. We got to get back to the Bible. It's kind of like Jason Whitlock. You know, Jason Whitlock thinks that, you know, the salvation of black people, that black people need to go back to church and that black people need to have a biblical worldview and all that stuff. I say black people have been Christians for over 400 years in America. And guess what? And look at what we are. Black people are the most Christian people in the United States. And look where we are. If Christianity had the secret sauce, if Christianity by itself had the keys to liberate all black people, we would have been liberated a long time ago. If following the Bible would have emancipated all black people, we would have been emancipated years ago. I'm not a hardcore Christian, hardcore conservative. I'm not a Project 2025 person, Heritage Foundation, all that kind of stuff like that. I rendered a protest vote. so, so I'm not one of these right-wing conservatives, right-wing MAGA people who believe that we need to get closer to Jesus, and if we get closer to Jesus, that America will turn into a paradise. No, that ain't me. And I don't knock anybody, the Christians and the Muslims and the Jews. I don't knock the conservative Christians. I don't knock anybody on the right. I don't knock them. But America, the United States of America, is a very, very complicated place. And the position of black people in America is extraordinarily complex. So I'm not going to be talking about some nonsense black fatigue. Ain't no black fatigue. I know too much history. I understand too much sociology and economics and political science to be talking about some doggone black fatigue. Black fatigue is for people who don't think, people who are anti-intellectual. That's what black fatigue is for. Black fatigue is for people who are racist, who want racist explanations for everything. That's what black fatigue is. Good to see you, Dr. L. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, Dr. L. Yeah, these white people, what's his name? Nick Fuentes. The white supremacist, Nick Fuentes. He is a full-blown white supremacist. He is a full-blown white supremacist. He is not afflicted with white guilt. This man is not afflicted. He hates black people. He doesn't like black people. He doesn't want to be around black people. He's not afflicted with white. He's not afflicted with white guilt. This is a person who is an open racist. He's openly racist. So these white people who are talking about black fatigue, they're cowards. They're cowards. They're cowards. Because they don't want to just come out and say that they hate black people, that they're racist. Just come out and say that you're racist. That's it. Come out and say it. See, and Anton, they can hide behind, here's the thing. These people, they can hide behind a black conservative like Anton Daniels, and they can hide behind his language of black fatigue so that they don't have to come out and say that they're racist and that it's more than just them not liking black people, they hate black people. It's politically incorrect for these people to say that they are racist and that they don't like, they hate black people. It is politically incorrect. It is politically incorrect for this subsection of white societies to say that they hate black people. So they will latch on to a person like Anton Daniels and this language of black fatigue. And they will use this whole concept of black fatigue as a cover for their racism. These people are racist. And people like Anton Daniels gives them the language and legitimates their racism through this whole notion of black fatigue. Y'all get the likes up, man. Y'all get the likes up. Y'all get the likes up. It's BMI 3000 reloaded. BMI 3000 reloaded. Y'all see this BMI 3000. I have not been out here in a long time. I have not worn the BMI hat. I have not worn the BMI hat in a long time, but I had to come out here and bring out the BMI hat. Black men's independence. It's the BMI hat. It is what it is. These people are racist. And you have black people, now you have black people latching on, you have some certain conservative black folks who are talking about black fatigue, who it allows them to talk about their disdain for black people. I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. I mean, think about this. I mean, guys. I mean, I get tired. Again, I said this early on in the stream. I get tired of listening to. I'm tired of Jasmine Crockett. I'm tired of Jasmine. I don't like listening to Jasmine Crockett. I don't like Jasmine Crockett. I don't like what she represents. I don't. I don't like what has produced a person like Jasmine Crockett. I don't like it. I think that everything that has produced Jasmine Crockett is detrimental to the black population. That Jasmine Crockett does not help black people. Jasmine Crockett harms black people. Jasmine Crockett is detrimental to the black population. This woman is detrimental. But me saying that I don't like Jasmine Crockett is not the same thing as a white racist person who don't like her. Ain't the same thing. Because the white racist person is going to give you a whole bunch of other reasons why they don't like Jasmine Crockett, other than what I give you. Ain't no black fatigue. This is a dangerous idea. Y'all get the likes up, man. Man, y'all get these likes up. Get the likes up. I am BMI 3000 Reloaded. What's going on, brothers? I'm glad that all you guys are in the house, man. We have 123 people watching. We got 123 people watching, man. Y'all get the likes up, get the likes up. I have not shown my face live in a long time. I am here. But I want y'all to sound off, man. Thank you, Christopher Clipper, man. Good to see you, man. This idea of black fatigue. Anton, if you're watching me, Anton Daniels, this is a dangerous idea. This is a dangerous idea, bro. And I'm going to tell you, Anton, I watch you. I think you're a good brother, man. I think you're a good brother. I would, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you. I think you're a good brother, man. I think that you, economically, and I think you really care about black people. I want to say this about Anton. I think that Anton Daniels really cares about black folks. I really do. I don't think that he's a scammer. I don't think that he's out here trying to take advantage of people. I think he's a stand-up kind of guy and what have you. You know what I mean? I think that there's some people who watch him and listen to him, they get, value from him. But, you got to be conservative. I mean, the black conservative has to be very, very careful. You got to be able to distinguish yourself from these other people, from the racist. You need to be able to distinguish yourself from the racist. You got to distinguish yourself from them. You got to be able to distinguish your ideas from, the ideas of those who hate black people. You got to be able to do that. He's pro-capitalist, he's pro-business and all that kind of stuff, and, leveling up and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. That's why I say I'm not disparaging this brother's character, anything like that. And I'm not out here. I'm not out here trying to attack him. But this idea of black fatigue, this is a very dangerous idea. And he right now with the algorithm, the YouTube, the algorithm, social media, he's attached to this idea of black fatigue. And I'm watching white people attach themselves to this whole notion of black fatigue. And this is an out for them. This is an out. Because they really want to be able to say what they think about black people. As they hide behind this idea of black fatigue. As they hide behind the sense that white people are victims of black people. White people in America are not victims of black people. You're not a victim. And we see this all the time. You look at the Matt Walsh. If you look at a Matt Walsh, a conservative, when he does black content and what have you, you listen to Ben Shapiro under certain situations of black male kills a white male or whatever. I mean, when these people talk, they talk as though they're victims of black people. 13% black people, 13% of the United States population. How is it that black people who are such a small part of the U.S. population are victimizers of the majority, the white majority who controls all institutions in America? It is nonsense. I hear you, man. Selling happens. Sahel Lanthropus surfer. The Sahel Santhropus surfer. I think I understand where you're coming from, my brother. I do not ascribe to any goodness, either to Anton nor his enterprise. He is an aspiring white capitalist. I respect the deliberateness of his efforts. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I hear you. He's a capitalist. No, he's clear. He is definitely a capitalist. He wants that money. He's definitely a capitalist. But people like him are useful. They are useful to white people who refuse to be honest about America. He's very useful. Very, very useful. Yeah. This man's very useful. No, I can't imagine. No, I can't. I can't imagine Anton in 1862. No, I can't. Not at all. Yeah. I hear you, Charles. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you. I've had to watch him. I've had to watch Anton at a distance, and I would say that, Anton is like a lot of these conservatives. Anton is a broken clock. He is a broken clock. And as you all know, a broken clock is right once a day. A broken clock is right once a day. But here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, man. If any of you guys want to come through, I need to know who you are. Now, I'm dropping a link. If you want to come through, you can come through. I just need to be able to identify you. I don't need no trolls. I don't need no crazy people coming through here. If I can't identify you in any kind of way, I'm not bringing you up. I'm just going to say that. So I've dropped the link in the chat. If you want to come up and you want to say something about this whole situation, you want to comment on this crazy idea of black fatigue, you are more than welcome to do so, and what have you. I just need to be able to identify you. That's all. I just need to be able to identify you guys. That's all. Y'all get the likes up. I got 116 people who are watching. Y'all get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. I am BMI 3000 Reloaded. If you want to contribute to the stream, this is a very, very important conversation, brothers. It's very, very important because we are in an age, we are witnessing the end. We are witnessing the disintegration or even the death of white guilt. the death of white guilt. That's what we're witnessing right now. The death of white guilt. It's basically the death of white guilt. That's what it is. Well, white people, they're no longer. You have white people who are no longer fazed by being called a racist. That's where we are right now. Yeah, they no longer. You can call them a racist right now, and they're not. It does not faze them whatsoever. You know, I saw Piers Morgan. Some of you guys may have seen this. Piers Morgan did a panel last week. He had Myron Gaines on there. Piers Morgan had Mark Lamont Hill. Piers Morgan had these other people. Piers Morgan did a stream last week, and he had some openly. There was a white woman on his stream who was an open white supremacist. She was an open white supremacist. There's a white woman who basically said that she don't like black people, that she's pro-white, and that she's pro-white life and pro-white babies and pro-white self-determination. She's a white. This white woman was on Piers Morgan last week. Y'all can look it up. Look up Piers Morgan from last week and what have you. Yeah, so we're again, Myron Gaines was on there, and he was spouting his racism, and he admittedly says that he's a racist. So yeah, we're in this moment now, man, where you have people who they just come out of the closet. They say, we tired, yeah, I'm a racist. This is who I am. But the black fatigue stuff is for a lot of these white folks who don't have the courage to just come out and say that they're racist. You see? They get to hide behind it, and they get to hide behind the fact that a black man helped them do it. Man, we got the Colonel, we got the General Charles Faulkner up in the house, man. What's going on?
Oh, what's up, Doc? Been a while.
It's been a
Oh
while.
man, what a tangle weave that we. Oh, what a tangle weave when we practice all to deceive. I've said
Man.
this. I know you may not have any feelings about Anton, but I do.
Yeah,
I've said that he needed to be watched accordingly, and he's a
yeah,
joke.
yeah.
And see, this is the problem when you put your conservatism before your blackness.
There you go.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I got you.
See, what happens is you want the almighty dollar, the only God that's ever value in today's modern world, it seems
Uh-huh.
like,
Mm-hmm.
instead of for your people.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when you're trying to convince people that all you need to do is boss up, be a woman to respect you,
Yeah.
we just saw what Michelle Obama,
Oh,
Jada Pinkett, who's from Baltimore, where I'm from, and
yeah.
other high profile supermen, if you will, that even white men can't compete with,
Yeah.
how they're disrespected by their women.
Oh my God.
Number one, this is what I'm going to ask people. How are you going to get information about relationships with a guy who's only been in one?
Yes.
How?
Oh.
You have not been tested, sir.
You have not been. Oh my God. Oh my God. You saw. I mean, you peeped that problem too.
I was on the panel when Dennis Sperling with him years ago. And he
Oh,
tried to say that I am because I didn't marry my son's mother, but I physically raised my son for years
oh
in
my.
my household. Well, you're the problem. No, I'm the solution.
There you go.
And I asked him this question: do I still have a responsibility of raising him to be a into a
Yeah.
proper man?
Yeah.
And I asked him this question. Let's talk about you, sir. What God do you pray to that your wife doesn't leave and there's not a damn thing you can do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to put this holier than thou
Oh my
ideology
Lord.
out there to people when you don't even know what the real world consists of.
Oh my God.
Maybe you're blessed because you found your wife. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You're one
Mm-hmm.
out of 100,000, kid.
There you go.
I can't I can't take advice from an unseasoned, untested
Oh,
product.
Man.
You can't tell me about the behavior of women. It took you to have thousands, hundreds of shows till you really, it dawned on you, this is how they really think of you, kid.
And think about it, he had to talk. How many men did he have to talk to, man? How many men?
Several. This is
Think
the
about
reason
all
why I
those
tell
men.
people, this is the reason why I tell people, look, when you keep trying to be boss up to get a woman to respect you, you're doing the cardinal sin that got you in the messed up spot in the first goddamn place. Is validation through feminine eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Validate your own damn self first before you even talk to anybody.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think that plagues black men is that we want to get on this conservative train, not because we truly believe in family values, it's to spite the women.
Yeah.
The hell with them.
Yeah.
I voted for the Republican Party because
Yeah.
my son needs to survive. He needs more
Yes.
interests that are going to align with him.
There you go.
I'm
There you
43.
go.
I'm 43. I'm much more. I'm closer to retire. I'm basically semi-retired now.
I understand.
So I've done my running and gunning. I had to see what's going to benefit my son in the long run.
That's
You
it.
shut down DEI. Cool. My son has a fighting chance.
Yes.
You can't say that, oh, I'm going to be this conservative guy and these Christian values. How are you going to have Christian values when you can't even find a Christian woman to come on your program?
Oh my God.
You know, what's the old saying in
anti.
the Bible? Who do I send? Send me, oh Lord.
Yeah.
Send me. That's the reason why it's very hard to respect such a hypocrite like him,
Oh my
because
God.
you will be used as a tool,
Yes.
as a goddamn tool against your own people, and you don't even have the conscience nor the wherewithal to realize what you're doing until it's too late.
No,
What you're
absolutely.
doing, kid, what you're doing, sir, you're the justification of Emmett Till.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you're doing is the justification of what's the kid in Florida? Trayvon?
Trayvon Martin. There you go.
That's the same bullshit that they
Yeah.
pulled.
That's the same thing. Absolutely.
It's the same thing that you allowing them to, well, we fatigue. How can the greatest military mechanized monster the world has ever seen ever be oppressed by what,
How?
14% of the people
Come on,
that
man.
has no control of any infrastructure? How the hell can I oppress you?
Come on.
How?
Come
Please,
on.
somebody riddle me that.
Come on. Come on.
When
Yeah.
you when eventually somebody's gonna stop talking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually we're gonna have to go to brass tacks and be real. And see,
Mm-hmm.
this is the problem with too many personalities, unlike a few of us who still rep the black manosphere to this
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we don't get the numbers is because we tell the unabated truth.
Truth. That's it.
And it's costly.
That's it.
I'm shadow banned.
That's it. No,
Okay. I got 6,000 plus subscribers. I am shadow banned.
hey,
But I will always give you the truth. Just like the
always.
good doc, just like AB. I will always give you the truth, regardless if I like it or not. There's some truths that I found out through peer research from law enforcement and military studies that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to throw my phone and my computer out the damn window, but I gave you the truth.
Mm.
And see, this is the part where I'm going to talk to black men for a minute before I shut my mouth and let AB rock and roll.
Yes, sir.
Number one, to thy own self be true.
Mm-hmm.
Pick out your own damn destiny,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what anybody thinks of you, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of anybody's going to be there with you. Your life should be like an automobile. There's
Mm-hmm.
enough room for anybody to go on that journey, but your
Mm-hmm.
travels are just as good solo. And number
Mm-hmm.
two, be a seeker of knowledge and truth.
Mm-hmm.
Do not let the people sway you into these fast in the pans, black fatigue words.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how destructive this stuff is. That sounds very Gestapo-ish. Okay?
Yeah.
That sounds very very, mustache man back in
Yeah,
from 1938 to
man.
1945-ish.
Black fatigue, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's dangerous. This is dangerous. That's why I'm out here. But this idea of black fatigue, this is dangerous. They think that this is a joke. It's not a joke. You see,
Remember, and
this
last but not least,
go ahead.
before I shut up, and this is the most important for black men. There's a lot of people who are going to give you those hard truths, but always remember, not everybody who's against you is your enemy,
There you go.
but not everybody for you is your friend. And I'm going to shut up for a little minute.
There you go. There you go.
Don't talk about the
Appreciate that,
Democrat
man.
Party like that. Oops.
AB, what's going on, man? Good to see you, man.
What's going on, Dr. Neil? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well, man.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we need to watch the terminology and what people use. Black fatigue, and yeah, I know that. Did you see that statue that they put in New York City?
Yeah. Yes, we've all seen it. Everybody.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Yeah.
That's what they think of. That's what they think of black women.
That's what. Yeah.
And like kind of like BGS was saying, it's like radio silence right now on it.
Hold on, JT. Let me AB. Let me finish. You want to finish what you were saying? You want to
You mentioned the segment with the tether Myron Gaines and
Myron Gaines. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually covered that on Saturday with BGS, and
okay.
He has made the point that Myron Gaines used to be a Fed, so he doesn't. So he doesn't understand why black people listen to him. I've never liked Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
I watched like one of their streams, and I'm like, I'm not feeling these guys. And so I was never I was never feeling Fresh and Fit, but a lot of people think that Fresh and Fit actually represents the black manosphere, and they don't.
They don't know.
And particularly with Myron Gaines, why should we look up to somebody who wants to kiss the racist behind? Quite literally, he's been caught on Twitter trying to mingle with known racists.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So my rebut to Myron Gaines is, why should we listen to you?
Yeah,
you've been seen trying to. I'm trying to not use bad language here. You've been seen literally kissing their behind, but are we supposed to take you seriously? No, it's not going to happen. And you're not FBA either. You really need to keep black. You need to stop using the N-word to keep black people's name out your mouth. And
what's ironic about it is that, like I said before, the black culture, the N-word, all that kind of stuff, that has prepared all the lingo. You look at Fresh and Fit, you look at the platform and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not a fan. I just watch because I watch what men do online, regardless of their ideology. You know what I mean? And see where they're going with it and all that kind of stuff. But him and Fresh and all that kind of stuff in Miami, all the fake swag that they project, all that stuff in somehow or another is influenced by black men, hip hop and all that kind of stuff. If it wasn't no hip hop, if it wasn't no black milk culture and all that kind of stuff, these guys, no one would listen to them. Okay. And if even when they disparage black people and they call us, when they get out there with their Klan hats on and he start talking about black people as monkeys and all that kind of stuff, he can only be relevant to the extent that he disparages black people. So that is that you have these people, these white supremacists. If black people didn't exist, they wouldn't have a platform. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I was a little frustrated with Mark Lamont Hill getting frustrated with Piers Morgan daring that woman to say the N-word. You should let her say it.
Because
I'll be up front. I was doing some streaming with some friends of mine about a month ago, and we had a white supremacist come up there, and he was using the N word all the time. Funny enough, we let him talk, and he said he dated black women. So when I got the opportunity, I asked him, "Wouldn't that make you an N lover?"
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, seriously, wouldn't that make you a Negro lover? I mean, you said you dated black women, okay? So you like us like that? So what's the issue? But he was trying to use the N word, trying to intimidate us, and we're just like, and it's not like.
And that's.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. That's the whole platform. It's kind of like, so the black feminists, the man haters, all the negative, the divestors, and all that kind of stuff, who talk about us, who've been talking about us for years, right? They would not have no platform without us, right? And if you snatch away black men from their vocabulary, they ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what that means is that these people have a very twisted relationship with us. So, they hate us, right? But at the same time, they can't stop talking about us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's like an internal contradiction.
Yeah, I've been on record saying this for a while now. I don't take divestors seriously. Main reason why is, well, I already have white in-laws. You're not doing anything I haven't already seen already. I have white men that are in-laws. I have white women that are in-laws. So what you're doing is not new, and you can't hurt my feelings with you dating a white man. Go be happy. What you bother me for?
They move on. Dr. L is in the house, man. Yeah. What's going on, Dr. L, man? I want to hear what you got to say. Talk to us, brother.
I appreciate you having me up. Thank you so much. Greetings to the chat. I wanted to say that I was very disappointed in Mark Lamont Hill the other night. I did a show about it. He showed that he kept trying to say, well, he did a follow-up to his show on showing on Piers Morgan, and I thought that he did not do well, and he let them push his buttons. And all that, and so we have to remain calm in these types of environments.
We do.
The other thing I want to say is this is the result of a lack of cohesiveness amongst African American people and just African people, period, the diaspora. And you see this brother who's from Africa, from the Sudan, Myron Gaines or Amrud Sodol or Fodol or whatever his real name is. This character here really showed himself, and I hope that everyone who was listening to him understands exactly what he represents. Same thing that goes for the other kid too. They're Fit Fresh or whatever, who's from the Bahamas, just as much of a member of the diaspora as the rest of us. So why these clowns are doing what they're doing, it's obviously for clout and for money. But unfortunately, it should show all of us, I should say, that we need to work together, stick together, and love each other more than ever. And Black men need to work together and really try to correct some of this foolishness that's going on out here. So that's my, and I'm appreciative of this particular space. Thank you, Dr. Neal, for presenting this. And it's really important for us to see what's going on. And I really appreciated what you said. This is not how did you put it? This is not Black fatigue. It's the end of white guilt. And I think that we are seeing that, where a lot of people are just thinking that along the lines of we don't need to do any more for them. We're going to get rid of DEI. We're going to get rid of affirmative action and see what they can do. Well, it's time for us to show them what we can really do. So I'll leave it off there.
Thank you. Hold on before I get to JT. Toxic masculinist, thank you for that contribution. You're right. That is the statue of negative liberty. So we appreciate you, man. JT, what's going on? Good to have you here, man. Talk to us.
How you doing, Doctor? First, just want to give a big shout out to the panel. Say I'm grateful to be up here and to share this space. I got a few points, and then I'm gonna close on the question.
Okay.
One, I definitely agree. We're starting to see the end of white guilt. And in particular on the right side, I think there are still a lot of folks. I think there was to some degree a reckoning of some white folks realizing how like evil their history was. I don't know what percentage of the population that is, but I do see that there is some. And I think since economic times is very kind of unstable right now, people are like, they're going down to what's the baseline, survival. And when it's survival, it's like it's us versus them, and they're trying to start pushing that tribal mentality again. Yep. And I think I agree. Like, we need to cultivate Black male spaces in particular more now than ever. I'm doing my part to do that as well, like locally where I'm at. And I don't know. I just again want to say I'm grateful, and then I want to close on Anton. I think Anton. I've been watching Anton for a while, and like everybody, he has his hits and misses. I think he completely was off target with this one. But my question is he claims to be a Christian. I can't think of the story right now, right? But Jesus had a man had came to Jesus with everything to offer. With everything, right? And Jesus told him, basically, what's next for you is to give away all of your things, everything that you built. And the way that Anton like kind of glorifies himself in a way, and everything that he's quote unquote built, I would see him being that man that wouldn't be able to give away his stuff. And my question is, what do y'all think about that?
That's a good question. I mean, let the brothers. I'll let the brothers respond to that.
Yeah, that sounds about
I'm gonna just say this real quick. One, a man who's worried about possessions truly has no conviction.
There you
go.
You can be bought by anybody. There was a wise prophet back in the WWF in the 80s and 90s named Ted DiBiase, and he so eloquently put it, everybody's got a price. And people knows your price. You have a price.
Yeah.
You can be bought.
You can be bought. Yeah.
And when you look at guys like Myron and Anton, they're all about the almighty dollar.
That's good.
How can I trust a man with no true conviction? What are you willing to stake your claim and die on? That's what conviction really means. I'm willing to die on this hill.
Oh, man.
What's the old saying? Though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, though I offer my body to be burnt, if I do it without love and charity, it offers me nothing.
And think about it, Charles. And think about, Charles, what you make as a sacrifice as a man, standing on your convictions. You give more to your son than millions, billions of dollars. Okay, I mean that means more. Like if a son, I'm thinking about, as you were saying that, you talked about your son earlier and the decision that you made. You think about your son and future stuff like that, and it's like when you bequeath that type of conviction and courage to your son, it's priceless. You can't put a monetary value on that. You know what I'm saying?
Doc, because you got to train the next generation. You got to train a true warrior. Does it because it's his convictions. A true warrior does it not because he's paid. I mean, yes, you should be compensated for your skills,
of course,
your abilities that most people can't do, but your convictions. It's the same thing when you hear people, I'm not going to fight for this country, but you sure as hell going to take the benefits from it.
You're going to take the benefits. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So in order to keep those benefits flowing, somebody's got to protect this damn place.
Yep.
Absolutely. AB, you want to respond to what JT said?
I'm sorry, what was the question again? Just to clarify.
Like, I guess it was, I was posing like, based off of what we kind of know about Anton based on his videos, in that situation, like if he had to give in a sense, it was that conviction. Like, where do you think his true convictions lie? Is it this quote unquote like platform that he's built, or is it actually for the cause of like ultimately like Black liberation, Black freedom, independence, whatever you know, you kind of want to categorize that as? Or, you know, do you think he will sell out? Like, I mean, we've seen it happen, but yeah.
Right now, I think I'm not sure how he started out, but right now, I think he's doing it for his platform and not necessarily for the Black community.
And I would say, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, you know, he's kind of doing it for himself now, and you know, not necessarily for the Black community, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Can I chime in on that?
Dr. L, please.
Go ahead.
I think that one of the biggest problems I have with Christianity as a philosophy, not so much as a religion or even as a religion, is that I think a lot of people hide behind it. There's this element of forgiveness. In other words, I can curse you out, I can treat you any kind of way, but then they claim to be imperfect people, and you know, God has forgiven me, or I'm still working on myself and all that. So there's a psychology to, I think there's a certain psychological type, let me put it that way, that go after that. And I'm not saying it's bad as a way to live. I am saying that certain people hide behind it, and it seems to me that Anton kind of hides behind that. You know, everybody's religion is going to be different, but I grew up in a church that said you shouldn't be swearing and all this other kind of stuff. So on one hand, he's saying, you know, people ought not to date, and we ought to be Christians, and this, that, and the other. And then in the same breath, or you know, a few moments later, he can throw an entire group of people under the bus. And as you said rightly, Dr. Neal, we've been the most Christian folks in this country forever. So if he hasn't helped, then there's something. There's a problem. And so, you know, his thought process is just not very complex. He thinks that it is. But it's not, and he doesn't do a full critical analysis of what he's saying. So, yeah, his Christianity or whatever he's appealing to, I definitely think there's a grift aspect to it.
Yes.
And the other thing about it is that he wants to, you know, absolve and exonerate white people, so he can get more resources from them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, I'm not gonna hold this against you. I'm not gonna, you know, call you racist or whatever, and I need to work with you. I'm about this bag, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about slavery. I don't care about the racist stuff, blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to get this bag, you know what I mean? And my Christianity can give me a way into getting that bag, you understand, by saying, you know what? We forgive you. This was sin, and you know, all that kind of redemption, and you know, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And what it does is it erases history. It erases everything that is tied to, you know, the experience, you know, of Black people. You know what I mean? And again, I would say this, you know, to be fair and everything. It's like, and I will say this to all you brothers who listen to me, you know, I've had to existentially wrestle with that. You know, how do you deal? Here's the thing. Every Black man, it's not just me, every Black man has to come to a place where you have to, okay, how do you deal with racism? How do you deal with racist white people? Okay. Do you go about life being the angry person, protesting and hollering and screaming and kicking and, you know what I mean? Do you pursue a more strategic way? Do you just understand that racism is a part of the human condition, and that you have a broader goal, blah, 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 you know what I mean? But when you throw Christianity into it, and you throw Christian theology into it, okay? See, here's the thing. We Black people, and I was interviewed about this with my book, about forgiveness, you know. And here's the thing, you all remember what happened in Charleston, the Charleston massacre back in 2016. I remember that?
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
And y'all remember how quick Black
I remember
people,
that too. Cringeworthy.
you remember how the bodies weren't even cold, okay?
Yeah.
And the children of the people who had been slaughtered went on TV.
Yes.
And said, we forgive them. Remember that? These were children. Okay,
Yeah.
so we forgive. 9 people were killed by a white supremacist in a church.
Yes.
And before the bodies were cold, the children were saying, "We forgive them."
Yep.
You
They
understand
was
what I'm
saying to
saying?
him in court.
Yeah,
You can hear him in the background. I forgive you.
yeah, and I mean, and it's like, okay, we don't even have to go through a court process. That was the underlying subtext of all that kind of stuff. We don't have to take you through trial, and of course he had to go through trial. And he was, subsequently convicted and sentenced to life in prison or whatever. But I point that out to say that a lot of us have that mentality.
Yeah.
A lot of us have that mentality, and we will. So Black people, and here's the thing about it: we will forgive white people, faster than we will forgive another Black person, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if that happened, if a Black male had ran up in that church and killed all those Black people, oh my God, he would have been condemned from here to kingdom come.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
You
and they
understand?
would have jumped on the train too. Like, it would have been Black people and white people united.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But with this white male, it's like, okay, we have to give him grace and we have to give him redemption and all that kind of stuff. So there is a psychology that is there. And so people like Anton Daniels, they exist within that orbit, in terms of the psychology of forgiveness and redemption, and all that kind of stuff. And what makes his stuff more, I guess, problematic or whatever is the fact that it's there's capital and money and financial gain tied to all that.
Yeah. To the full disclosure, I'm still in the church. I haven't been in about a month, but I'm still in the church. And on the topic of forgiveness, yes, I do believe in forgiveness. With that being said, a lot of people didn't read that scripture correctly. If you go to the scripture where Jesus is talking about forgiveness, you really need to read the first few lines, because he starts off the scripture by saying, don't do things in public just to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pray. Don't pray in public like the Pharisees do, because you look like a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and I think a lot of people, especially Black people, miss that. And actually, I disagree somewhat. We do forgive some Black people. We pretend abuse doesn't happen in our family. Then when somebody doesn't want to be bothered with somebody, we go and say, that's your mama, that's your daddy, that's your uncle, that's your grandmother, that's your auntie.
Maybe
so it's not just white people. We got to address how we use forgiveness with Black people too.
Yeah, but the thing is that thank you, Passport. Thank you for that, Passport, OG. The forgiveness thing, and this is the conversation I was having with another scholar, because I think that this is detrimental.
Okay.
I think that the idea of forgiveness is just, you need to throw it away.
Yes.
It's not that you don't, you can't recognize, some would say the humanity the humanity of the victimizer or whatever. But I'm like, forgiveness is a very compromising concept. And we shouldn't have to be in a position where we have to be morally superior to people who have victimized us. And that's the conundrum. The conundrum problem is that Black people are constantly asked to be morally superior, to take the high ground.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, no, you don't take the high ground. You understand what I'm saying? And so people like Anton, talking about Black fatigue and all this crap, that's in the background, that you need to be taking some type of high ground and that you need to display a higher level of morality than the people who have victimized you or what have you. You understand what I'm saying? And and that's the thing. And then also at the same time, I mean, there's so many other layers to that.
Yes, that's true.
But the point is that forgiveness is a bad concept, an idea, and we have been limited by this idea, and it holds us back. And because it constantly demands that you take the whole moral high ground. You understand what I'm saying? That you got to forgive people. So it's like okay, forgive them for slavery. Forgive them for Jim Crow. You forgive people for mass incarceration. A Negro, you got a black man who done spent 40 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, because a whole bunch of white people colluded against him. This dude done lost 40 years of his, excuse me, I'm not gonna curse, freaking life. And you supposed to take some more high ground and forgive it. Or you think about this, a woman that lied on you and said that you done abused her, your butt then got sent to prison, you done spent 5 years, Brian Banks, or some other man, 10 years, 10 years in prison for this assault charge. And you get out. I think, who was that? Dr. Phil did this show. I could barely watch it. Dr. Phil did this show years ago. Some of y'all might have seen this, where a black man went to prison because of this false allegation. And he confronted the woman who said that he did this crime to her. And this black man was on TV who actually said after he spent time in prison, he forgave her. And I'm like, this is absurd. This is ridiculous. She up there crying and carrying all that kind of stuff. He done lost years of his life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No telling what happened to him when he went to prison.
Yeah.
Based on that stuff. And you sitting up here on Dr. Phil talking about something, I forgive you. This is sickening. It's sick.
I think my thing with forgiveness is, I feel like forgiveness is more for, the way I've seen it, it's more been for me, so I can move past this and make the proper decisions that I need to make.
Yeah,
like for me, forgiveness doesn't, and I think AB that from where I'm understanding that scripture, it kind of is like forgiveness doesn't mean like we are at peace and there's love.
Right. That's true.
You know, it means I accepted the situation in a way.
That's what I was going to go into. Black people's problem is forgiveness. Too many black people, forgiveness to them means we have to take people's crap. We have to sit there and make peace with people and all that crap. And even the Bible says you don't cast your pearl among swine. If you do, you're going to lose your pearls.
Yep.
And that's how I take forgiveness. I might forgive somebody, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna talk to you. That doesn't mean I'm gonna talk to you on a regular basis. I got an aunt that I'm not talking to right now, and she wonders why, because you're talking to me crazy, and I'm too old for that crap.
So Ghetto User, thank you, Ghetto User. Ghetto User says there's so much nonsense out here. Thank you for helping to clarify, giving some sense to all the rhetoric. I can always get a sound objective critique from you, Dr. Neil. Thank you, man. Thank you for the contribution, my brother. Let me introduce other chats. Gregory Scotland, thank you for that $10 super chat. Hey, BMI. I remember the 80s. Remember it was the 90s that black people forget. Yeah, oh my Lord, George Wallace. I guess because he was in a wheelchair. Shirley Chisholm was at this man's. He had been shot and everything. She went to the hospital in Brooklyn, New York. She was a congresswoman. And this is the same woman who said,
is that the woman that ran for president?
She ran for president in the 70s, man. She ran 1972.
Okay.
And she said that this is the same woman who said that black women held her back. And back in them days. But at any rate, yeah, man, this woman was at this man's hospital bed. And this man had wreaked so much havoc in Alabama, you know. and it was just so absurd. Yeah, and it was like, here's the thing. The thing about you can move forward and deal with people without doing all this forgiveness stuff. You understand what I'm saying? You can just like, okay, this is what happened. It is what it is. We're gonna go forward, but you don't have to engage in this moral cleansing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, I mean, it's just in personal relationships. I mean, you ain't got, if somebody run up in your house with a gun and put a gun to your mouth and rob you and your family and stuff like that, and he get caught, he go to jail. And you know, they have these reconciliation programs, you know, with dudes like that. And it's like, you ain't got to forgive them. You just like, okay, you acknowledge that you did some evil stuff.
Messed up stuff, yeah.
I ain't got to forgive you. You did something
Here's
evil.
my problem.
And you need to confront it.
Here's my problem with forgiveness. Forgiveness never comes from, at least the modern version, never comes from a pure place.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That is very true. That's probably
because it's usually meant for us not to become vengeful. And there are such things in the Bible, if you believe it, as righteous anger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hammurabi's code, which gave us what? An eye for an eye?
Mm-hmm.
You take my family member, back in the day, it was righteous to take yours. That's what kept people alive. And unfortunately, we want these docile creatures because look at the Black community. We're supposed to forgive a woman who says, this is your child for 12 years and comes out it's not yours.
Oh my God.
We're supposed to forgive somebody who harasses and self-poisons to our people, and our best friend or our kids overdose.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're not allowed to be mavericks. I remember there was a white lady yesterday where I'm working at now, try to say, well, men are more emotional than women. I said, what year? What year? What country? What universe? Not even in a multiverse. I said, if you, especially as a white woman, act up and act a fool and act like a victim, the world will come help you. If I act a fool as a black man with some size and strength, I'm a threat. So guess who's always got to be in control of their emotions?
Yeah.
That's why vengeance sometimes is necessary. They say vengeance, yes, it's the Lord's, but sometimes the Lord puts you in the spot and say, hey, take heads off, baby. We got to stop lying to people and say, hey, it's like this. You're the academia, Doc.
Yeah.
You know how they have this, well, you know, don't try to defend yourself, use your words. We're doing a disservice to our young people and teaching that because you're teaching them to be victims.
Yes.
Yes.
You're teaching them to be victims. And no man can be. You can't teach kids to be victims. Because when you teach young boys to be victims, it's the fact of the matter that your warrior class is going to be bastardized, and swift action may need to be taken. And when you start using that feminist product and propaganda, remember, feminism was made not only to prop them up, it was made to tamp you down.
Yeah.
Well, you should forgive her if she cheats on you with 12 guys. You should forgive her if she had more trains ran on her than Amtrak. You know, you should forgive her. No. Sometimes it's not even the violence, it's the action. Get out my life, go away. Even Jesus had to say, get behind me, Satan.
Yes.
And that's where I look at it. It's not from a pure place. It's for, I don't feel guilt and shame. What you think?
And here's the other thing. The other part of it is that when the roles are reversed. So I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't been like a lot of these recent events, like the black kid and the white kid in Texas, and the black kid who killed, you know, and these other situations. And I've been watching these conservatives go in on that, and it's like they don't have any mercy. Okay, and it's like, I look at it, the white guy, Matt Walsh, he reported on that, and it's like, if a black person does something to a white person, ain't no forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we want swift punishment. We want, and if it's clear that this was, even if it was malicious and intentional or what have you, they want to send this guy to death row. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no forgiveness whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we are asked to do the opposite. You understand?
Yeah,
there's a problem. So there's no forgiveness for us or what have you. You know what I mean? And so, and these are people who claim to be Christian. The Matt Walsh types, they claim to be Christian. And Jesus all day long. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a concept that didn't work for us. M. Lavo, thank you for that contribution. He says most people don't even know what it entails. We think forgiveness means I will get for the deed and not hold you to it. Hold them to it. Don't forget. I don't want to get stuck on forgiveness, man. But let's go back to this thing right here. With Anton Daniels and everything. We're in a moment right now, and here's the thing. And Dr. L, I'm glad that you zeroed in on this. I think, this is the end of white guilt. And you have increasingly people who are coming out. And I'm not afraid of it or anything like that, and I'm in all honesty, I think it's refreshing. You know what I'm saying? That's like, one of the reasons why I voted the way I voted. For the first time in my life, I had never voted for a Republican president. And but with Trump, I was like, this is the devil I know. You know what I'm saying? And and it's like, why play games? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's open. And I'm gonna say that about Trump, I would not come out and say that he's an open white supremacist or whatever, but I would say that I know that there are white supremacists who have attached themselves to him. I ain't gonna lie about that. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that we have been dealing with these snakes for so long. These people who pretend to be one thing, but they're something else. And I'm like, let's just deal with that. I was watching a video on TikTok. There's a guy from the Nation of Islam in the UK. You got the nation, you got the NOI in the UK. These guys, guys are out there in the park and talking about Trump and Hillary. This is back before he became president, stuff like that. But it's still appropriate for today. You know what I mean? And the point that he was making is that Donald Trump and all his brashness and all his arrogance and all that kind of stuff, he's honest. Yes. He's exposing the system. And he disturbs lots of white people because he has the audacity to just be honest. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, we have not dealt with that level of candor, over the last 60 some odd years in terms of politicians.
He said something during that election. I think 2016 election. I think he was absolutely right. And people sweep it on the rug, but he was right when he asked us, "What do we have to lose?"
What you got to lose?
He was absolutely right.
Yeah, these people have not done anything for you. He wasn't trying to hide and all that kind of stuff. And so the thing is that these people, you were talking about that panel, Piers Morgan, like Myron and these other people, Myron Gaines. I'm not disturbed by it. I don't lose sleep over these people. Because I'm like, I want them to talk. So see, here's the thing, like Nick Fuentes, those people, I want them to talk so that the world can judge them. I want the racists to come out so that everybody can judge them and deem whether these people are ridiculous or not. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it. You understand? I mean, let them come out and say what they gonna say, and because a lot of it, when they do come out and express their racist views, it really confirms what we know about a lot of people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just a confirmation, you know, of that. Yeah. So I don't want to. Yeah. Dr. L, did you want to say something about this? You want to say more? You want to chime in?
No, you guys are really killing it. I mean, I completely agree. I know you don't want to talk about forgiveness anymore, but yeah, I just think that was a tactic that was used against us to exploit, what Jesus said, and we just kind of took that on steroids. And as far as Myron and that thing that happened, I like you, I agree. I let them talk. I mean, let's see who these people are. I mean, I remember years ago when after George Floyd, they took these banners down and they took Dukes of Hazzard off and all this Confederate flag stuff. I'm like, man, stop selling in stores. I was like, man, listen, let them sell it. Put it on your bumper sticker. I want to know who you are. So
say that again. Never interrupt a fool making a mistake.
Yeah, let them do it. I mean, so now here we are. We thought that this was past us. Also, I definitely agree. I think this was alluded to earlier, is that these are kind of the throes, the death rattles of white supremacy, and they're going to blame us. They're going to blame everybody except for the oligarchs and plutarchs at the top of the scale, right? They're going to blame. Get the immigrants out. Okay, we're next. And this has always been the conundrum, in particular, of the Black male. We stood behind feminism, we stood behind immigration, but sooner or later they come for us, and we can never forget that. And once they get rid of this guilt, as has been said, it's going to be all no holds barred. As this republic slowly dwindles and becomes a regular nation, just like everyone else, they're going to blame us. It's the entitlements, it's DEI, it's affirmative action, it's the immigrants, it's the blacks it's always going to be us.
So. And what I would say is that as it happens, and here's the thing, so it's like, like right now, Black people, I think, are being awakened if they're not already awake. You understand? And in a way that would not be possible under a Kamala Harris. Like if Kamala Harris had won, right?
Disaster.
It'd have been disaster. And a part of that disaster is that the illusion that we have some real equity in this country would go on. Okay. That everything is all right, especially among the elites, and because I'm seeing conversations right now. Y'all know, a couple of weeks ago I did this thing on the Native Land podcast. Andrew Gillum, Tiffany Cross, and Angela Rye, they have this podcast, and I did a stream on one of their podcasts on Black male voters and stuff like that. And I just recently saw a podcast where they interviewed a Black male from Alabama, street guy. So they've been doing these. They're doing these tours. They're doing these tours across the country, and so they were in Alabama doing a session, and one of these street guys, a guy who has spent lots of time in prison, happened to show up in one of these sessions. And he messed around and went to the microphone and took over. You know what I mean? And was talking about his experience and how he was, basically, the underside of the Black male experience is totally neglected by these people. You know what I mean? And but the point is that you have these blacks, these Democrats, who are being forced to talk about stuff that they have not wanted to talk about under Trump. Okay, they're now being forced to talk about the manosphere, the black manosphere. These black men, these rebellious, dissident black men who, like myself, who voted for Trump. You know, I'm not on the right. I ain't no conservative, whatever. I voted Democratic most of my adult life. But you have some black men who are conservative and whatever. But the point is that the page has turned, and that you can't keep black men on this plantation.
Nope.
And you have to deal with these black men on their terms. You understand what I'm saying? And so we are doing that in this era under Kamala Harris. The likelihood of it happening, you know, is quite slim. You understand? So the point I'm trying to make is that open white supremacy, and people have a hard time with this. Some people have a hard, not everybody. You see, open white supremacy is difficult because it forces you as a black person to confront things that you might not want to confront and to be strategic. It's kind of like I said this to the guys on my own platform in the past. I lived in South Carolina for many years. 7 years to be exact. I lived in Columbia, in the state of South Carolina, the capital. And I can tell you vividly, guys, I would go to the Capitol and go to the Capitol steps. There was an American flag erected at the top of the Capitol. And right up under that flag was a Confederate flag. Okay. And so, and the NAACP, when I was living there, the NAACP had been waging a war to get the flag taken down and stuff like that. They were unsuccessful. But I knew where I was, and it's like, yeah, okay, I know who you all are. And I would, in my journeys throughout the state and even, where I live, seeing these white men and these pickup trucks with Confederate flags and shotguns and all that kind of stuff, I'm a runner. I would run. I go out there and run. I had dude try to run me off the road. I say this to say that I don't disparage that experience. That experience, and it's not just my experience. This is a black person. If you are a black person who lives in a southern state, who has southern legislatures, conservative legislatures, this is your everyday reality. This is the devil you know. That's what I'm talking about. You all guys saw Sinners, the movie Sinners? And I talked about this, the movie Sinners. Okay, I'm not going to give too much away with Sinners. But you got two black men who are doing business with Klansmen. They're engaging in the economic exchange with a Klansman in Mississippi. That's a part of the script of Sinners. You understand what I'm saying? They left Chicago. Chicago was sold to black people as a paradise. And they realized that Chicago was not a paradise. And them Negroes left Chicago and returned to Mississippi.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? We call it the devil we know.
Yes.
That is at the core of the black experience. And unfortunately, a lot of us have forgotten that or don't even know anything about that. How is it that these black people were able to survive Jim Crow for almost a century? You understand? And still build families and still build businesses and communities, so on and so forth, in the face of lynching and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I look at the time that we're living in right now in that kind of vein. You know what I'm saying? And say you don't have to deal with these illusions.
Mhm.
That's why I say, yeah, you know, you can talk Nick Fuentes and all these people that when they say whatever they say about black people, man, I don't flinch.
Yeah, I've talked to brothers that lived back during that Jim Crow area,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and I had one brother tell me, "Man, I'd rather live in Mississippi back in the day."
Yeah,
Asked him, well, Indiana is the capital of the Ku Klux Klan,
it is.
but I did ask him why, and he said, "Down in Mississippi, yeah, it's racist as you think it is down there, but you knew where to go. You,
Yes.
you knew where to go. You knew where not to."
And that's why y'all brothers, if you have not seen the movie Sinners, y'all need to see Sinners. Because Ryan Coogler, a guy who grew up in Oakland, who has roots in the South, and the movie was inspired by his uncle, who was a Southern man who loved the blues. He gives you a blueprint. He gives you, I mean, what he does in that film is so profound.
Mm-hmm.
It says things I can't say. I did a stream on this 2 weeks ago, but the point I'm trying to make, man, is that I'm not, me personally. Yeah, I want these people to come out of the closet. I want to know who hates me.
Yeah.
I don't want any ambiguity about who likes me, who doesn't like me. You know what I'm saying? You know, fence straddlers, like Charles was saying with his son. And I don't have any kids, man. If I had a son right now, man, I want my son to be clear. I don't want my son to be having no ambiguity about what it means to be principled as a human being and what it means to be a man. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what men do. Ain't no ambiguity about this. And there are certain things that transcend money. There are values that you have that when you talk about not being bought, okay, that means that you have a core, you have a code that cannot be penetrated with money or fame or lust, sex, punani, all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the core. That's classical manhood.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And so we're in that moment right now. I mean, this is a time. This is a time that, you know, it makes men. You know. But anyway, I don't want to hold you guys up, man. I really appreciate you brothers for coming up here, man, and chiming in. I really wanted to attack this issue, you know, with Anton Daniels and this whole thing about black fatigue, because I'm seeing this stuff circulating across TikTok, and I'm seeing it on YouTube and other places, and on Instagram, and I'm like, and I'm seeing white people. I'm seeing white YouTubers pick this up, okay? And I'm like, no, this is dangerous. This is a dangerous thing. You know, black fatigue. They want to hide behind this idea so that they can, you know, justify and express their racism. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is what happens a lot, man. Anyway, I'm gonna give you guys time for closing thoughts, man. We're gonna start Charles, AB, and then DL. Dr. L. If Charles still there, Charles might be gone.
Well, always a pleasure, Doc. Thanks
Man,
for
I
having me.
appreciate
And woo!
Woo! Yes, sir. Bad man. AB.
Thanks for having me, Dr. Neil. And as I always say, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. I'm out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. Dr. L, what's going on, man?
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate your hashtags, black male independence and all that. So just keep up the good work, man. It's definitely needed. It's definitely needed in these days. It's definitely needed in these days and times. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you for coming, man. Absolutely. Peace. So we thank God for Dr. L and all the brothers who came up. And this is why I came out here, man. I had to come out here. I had to show my face today because, you know, this is a real thing, you know, brothers. Let me put some light out here before I go. Put some light out here, man. Black fatigue is a dangerous concept. This is a dangerous idea. It's dangerous. It might not appear dangerous, but it's dangerous. And when it's propagated by a black face, that makes it very sinister. Okay. And again, I have no beefs with Anton Daniels, no beefs with his brother whatsoever. I don't have any beef with him, but he's wrong. And he needs to be cognizant of how white racists can use and hide behind him. Yeah. He needs to be cognizant. And I say this as someone who voted like him. He's a guy who's a Republican. He's a conservative. He voted for Trump. I voted for Trump. But I don't share the worldview as, you know, everybody who went that way don't think the same way. I don't think like Anton or some of these other black I don't think like them, these other conservatives. I don't. And it needs to be made clear that everybody don't think the same way. You understand? Anyway, thank you guys for coming through, man, and for all your support. 97 chapters, y'all, 97 people watching the stream. Y'all hit the likes as on your way out. I am BMI 3000 Reloaded. I appreciate you, brothers, and enjoy the rest of your night. And I look forward to seeing all you guys the next time around, man. So you all take care. Peace out, man. I will talk to you soon.